Hey everybody, it is Viewmaster's Reactions, and we are back for the finale of Season 2 of Yellowjackets. I froze it right here. I just watched the recap, but I also just watched the last episode like 5 minutes ago. I got another drink of water. Javi is dead. They have killed Javi, so to speak. They didn't flat out kill him, but they didn't save him. It's one of those things like, are you killing the person by not saving them? I think so. You could clearly see they could have saved him. Or, I mean, I don't know. Last time Nat went like halfway in the water, they had to put her in a hot tub for like a half a day because she was so cold. And we're all weakened. We haven't eaten in forever. Everything is freaking insane. We were drawing cards. Whoever gets the Queen of Hearts is the one we kill. We were just gonna cut her throat right there on the spot. It's one of those things also where we know Nat is alive in the future. If it wasn't for Nat being alive in the future, I would have thought that they were going to kill her right there. Like, they were looking serious. Even when Travis intervened and Nat ran away, I'm thinking, these people just turn into crazy, brutal savages. As soon as she was out the door, they're all like running at her with weapons and screaming and howling like crazy people. It is insane how quickly they flip. They were all just like dying in a house. I was saying, like, when her and Javi were like talking, everybody else, like Mari and Ty, you could see everybody's just like laying there, like slowly dying because they're starving to death. And then as soon as they get the smell of flesh on their minds, they're just like, we're ready to go. I preached a lot at the end of the episode how I feel like it shouldn't just be as easy as drawing cards and cutting someone's throat, and I feel like the rules do change, because what are the odds that we saw the girl in the beginning, episode 1 of season 1, running from everybody? The only thing is she was in a nightgown, so I feel like they didn't really prepare her for the hunt, but it also might be like, we don't give you anything, you don't get any weapons or tools or clothes, and we hunt you. That's like the most you get from us. You get to run away, and maybe nature will choose to save you. In that case, she fell through the pit and died, so nature clearly chose her to die. But in this case, Javi was like, yo, Nat, I know a place we could hide. We know where he was going because Ben went to the place. There are tunnels underground. I figured there would be at some point. The fact that we kept seeing these heated up areas, I'm thinking steam or heat is rising and melting the snow, creating vegetation. I didn't know to what extent, because Lottie was having these visions of like underground sewer systems. I'm thinking, is it like man-made? Is it something that is just of nature, like tunnels under the mountains? We still don't know, but it's definitely not man-made. These are like, I mean, it could be man-made too, but it was definitely underground tunnels. It wasn't like structured, like concrete tunnel systems like Lottie had in the visions. Besides that, they found Adam's body. We're being interrogated by the cops. The one dude that was screwing around with Callie is like the biggest douchebag ever. Jeff is freaking out. All the ladies now are about to drink some poison concoction because Lottie is trying to tell them this is the only way. Everyone's lives have turned to shit. We need to give some sort of sacrifice to the higher power. I just keep calling it the higher power. I mean, is it the Antler Queen? Is it the wilderness nature? Like at the end there, they're like, nature has chosen or the wilderness has chosen. The higher power needs a sacrifice. Javi was the sacrifice here. Saved Nat's ass. I was also saying, though, is it that we start over now? Obviously, because Nat's alive, but I would almost think it's like, well, Nat, you were up, and Javi just coincidentally died, so when we need another body, you're next. But no, they just do random selection because they're looking at it like nature chose to save you and replaced you with Javi, and we know that Nat doesn't die, and others are definitely going to die. Ben's going to come back, see that Javi's dead. We're probably going to have, well, we're not probably, we're definitely going to eat him. I'm assuming Travis is going to be all sorts of fucked up because now he's going to feel responsible that he intervened to save Nat and it cost him his brother's life, and he might think that is intentional. Like the wilderness or the higher power is like, you prevented this, so I took your brother. I'm thinking that might be a major thing in all this, and maybe why Travis went completely nuts and got so bonded with Nat in the future. So many other things to talk about. The one other thing I wanted to talk about, and then we're jumping in because it's over an hour in the finale. They keep having, and I said this briefly in the other episode, they keep having like Ty seeing herself running around doing things, and it gets staticky. There's like this staticky thing every time an episode starts. We see it too. Ben has been seeing it a lot with the life of him and Paul, where he's like envisioning what it could have been like. I feel like that is just the show showing the parallels of Ty's issues and Ben thinking and this and that. But part of me, kind of like a Lost thing where they had the sideways world in the later seasons, I'm wondering if there is parallel dimensions. Like maybe Ty is seeing herself doing these weird things and it is happening, but maybe it's like overlapping into our world, and Ben is seeing this parallel dimension that is what could have been, but it actually is like an alternate dimension, not just in his head. I don't know if that's the case, but crazier things have happened in shows like this. So I'm just pointing out, whenever we see static, maybe it is actually showing the parallels that are actually other dimensions. Let's jump in. You guys want to see more of what I do? In the description is the link for Patreon, where you'll see every episode of Yellowjackets in full unedited. You want your own requested show or movie? Go to the link, ask me to watch whatever you want at a certain tier level. I will do so. That is how we have thousands of exclusives like Peaky Blinders, Doctor Who, Person of Interest, Eureka and Outer Banks, Pushing Daisies, Good Omens, finished up with Tulsa King, Vox Machina, Heartstopper. Ramba 1/2 is on Saturdays at noon. We're also doing Severance, Cobra Kai and Stranger Things final seasons very soon. Thousands of other movies and shows full unedited. Check it out. If not, season 2, episode 9, the finale of Yellowjackets. I love this song. The Cranberries. We already heard Linger, I think, in another episode. Oh, shit.
Natalie!
Oh, God, he's so happy that she's alive, but he's going to not be happy. Oh, this is that scene.
The wilderness chose.
No.
What a
We don't
way
get
to
to
start.
decide.
At least he could see they didn't like murder. Because I would think, like, I wasn't there. How do I know nature chose?
We all know what she went through out there because we all went through it too.
Either we take out Lottie or we play the game.
We're going to eat Javi. What? It's okay. We didn't even kill him.
I didn't want this. How could you let them?
How could I?
And Misty's like, no, Lottie, this was you. Misty kind of started it. And they were ready to take out Nat, so, like, how would they have calmed themselves and established a plan? Now we gotta bleed him out. I mean, we saw in season 1, they got to the point where they're, like, stringing them up and, they just got used to it. I think he helped, though. And don't forget, Van is a believer.
Where Javi was hiding. I think that you and I together could probably survive the winter.
It was supposed to be me. You're a good person, Coach.
You should be ashamed.
Well, I'm not.
The fact that you can even say that?
We thought he was dead anyway. At least we got to hang with him a little longer. Ben found the tunnels because of Javi's survival. And now we get to eat, so it wasn't a waste.
You're like an honest-to-God detective? Yeah.
An honest-to-God detective.
What are you gonna do?
I want you to place me under arrest. What?
I think Kevin's about to fall over,
tell her.
and none of this matters.
I couldn't tell him.
Sadecki, I presume?
Jeff
That was a
Sadecki
beautiful false confession. I could see it came out of real love.
doesn't look cooked. There's all our masks, we got our blades, we got our cards. What if Lottie immediately gets the Queen of Hearts? Then we could be like, all right, easy enough. Let's just kill Lottie and be done with this.
I'm gonna have to ask you to keep your hands where I can see them.
Kevin, hello.
Sean Sadecki. No. What the fuck are you doing?
Kevin, what?
It gave us time, it bought us time.
But he's panicking, so that's a start.
That is probably the most sane of this group. Ty, you might as well draw and then go with the flow. I'm waiting for Ty to turn into her other self. Nah, she won't get it. Is it gonna be Nat again? Oh, Ace of Hearts. Is that Shauna? Run. You need to run. Walter is out there with her husband, and Callie's out there with a gun.
You can submit, or you can run.
We're not really doing this, are we? It was just us!
Is there a difference?
Now you could say
Callie, no!
that the wilderness is chosen. Kill Lottie. Look at Van. This was in the trailer. We're going to, like, the end of the final episode.
summers came. Maybe what it wants for us now is a leader who can help us survive for the rest of the time we're out here. Natalie.
Natalie. Oh, because Natalie survived.
It was in you, even when you denied it, especially then. You were always its favorite.
Oh, Lisa's here now too? What is happening of the group? Whatever Lottie says, people follow. What is Ben out here doing? He was grabbing matches and shit. Is he gonna like burn this fucker down? As funny as it is, Lottie still controls it all. I'm happy though, because Nat is my favorite.
What did you do to her?
I told you to leave.
What is she talking about?
I'm not supposed to be here. This is exactly where we belong.
I've taken care of the Adam Martin situation.
Like, part of me still doesn't believe it, but I mean, clearly they have paramedics and everything. And if you think about it, Lisa, who saved Natalie from blowing her head off, it's like
It's gonna be okay.
the person who saved Natalie's life actually led to her death.
We gave it what it wanted.
Does that mean we're okay now?
It is pleased with us.
Let her jump out the top window. Go to the attic. Jump out the like, we're gonna lose everything. We lost our shelter. We're gonna lose all of it. Oh, wow, who's that? Who's that? It's the middle of the night.
Up against your will, you give yourself to him.
All right, everybody, that is it for the finale of season 2 Yellowjackets. Biggest shockers that I'm kind of not surprised about, if that even makes sense. As soon as Lottie was like, our leader is Natalie, I'm like, fuck, Natalie's gonna die. Like in the future, because it's like in the episode before this, we see that Natalie was chosen. I was saying it at the end of the episode and in the beginning of this one, that Natalie was originally chosen by the cards to be the first one we hunted, so to speak. They were gonna cut her throat off, but then they made it into a hunt. And now you could see they're like, you have the option. You could either give yourself willingly or we could hunt you. I don't know why anybody wouldn't at least take the option of the hunt, because knowing that Javi took her place, I would be like, all right, unless you have literally just completely given up and you're like, I'm done, just kill me, I want to die kind of thing. You know that there is a chance that the wilderness will save you because of the first incident with Nat and Javi. It made Lottie be like, Nat, you are the chosen one because the wilderness saved you. Because of that, I'm like, oh God, now in the future, Nat needs to die. Like, that's where my mind was going. Whether or not it makes sense or anything, or that is exactly what happened, I don't know. But that's the first thing I thought was, everybody is like bowing to Nat. You saw everyone, like Misty does a little curtsy. Shauna didn't look too happy about it though. I think that's because Shauna always feels like she isn't the chosen one with the whole Jackie situation and her being like the sidekick. I think Shauna really badly wanted to be the chosen one. And for a minute in like an episode or two ago, when she beat the shit out of Lottie, I thought Lottie was going to be like, I let Shauna do this, and Shauna was like the birth giver, like she was having the baby. There's a lot of things that were making me think Shauna might be the prophesized leader, according to Lottie, because of just circumstances. And I thought Lottie was going to be like, that's why I let her beat the shit out of me. She was going through all like the emotions and grieving and the loss and like denial and blah, 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 blah. But no, it ends up being Nat. And as soon as that happened, that's why I was thinking Shauna might be the one. And she did draw the card. That's why I was like, oh shit, she did draw the Queen of Hearts in the future. And I was thinking Shauna might be the one that they have to kill because, not for nothing, everyone makes shitty decisions. Misty's batshit crazy. Lottie's batshit crazy. Nat tried to kill herself and has all sorts of trouble. But Nat was the most level-headed. The only reason she had problems was because she had to deal with this bullshit. She was the most normal of everybody. Van is pretty normal too, but Van just bought in and accepted that life. But Van is definitely next in line. And you could see Van was like still normal, but dying of cancer. And she's like, yo, like at the end of the day, this is probably what we need to do because this is what we've always done. And why stop now? But Shauna just makes horrible decisions all the time. And then you have Jeff run in and confess to the murder of a guy that they didn't even have them pinned to. Like, am I crazy? Am I wrong? There's nothing that the cops could have pinned it to them with. They have a body. They know that Shauna was hooking up with this dude and there's text messages and stuff, but there is never anything spoken as far as like Shauna being like, I fucking killed this guy on text message or anything. You could literally say, yeah, I was sleeping with this guy. I was cheating on my husband and his body got found in the middle of the woods. It does look really bad. There's no murder weapon. Their fingerprints aren't on anything. And even if you get fingerprints of hers at his place, she's willingly saying I was sleeping with him. So like, I don't know. All I know is it doesn't matter now because Walter swoops in and takes care of all of that for us. The only thing that's crazy to me, besides everything else that is supposed to be crazy, is that that cop guy willingly went along with the story. Walter's like, yo, here's the deal. If you don't go along with this story, we're going to have everything point to you and you're going to go down and blah, 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 blah. It looked bad and scary for that guy, but I just can't believe the guy on the spot so willingly like was like, yep, all right, I'm in because I don't want to be in trouble and I don't want to have to worry about this. I just feel like that was crazy. I feel like there was a way Walter could have took that guy out and still had everything go the way they wanted it to go. Now, of course, it's easier if you have a cop who is the partner of the guy backing up your story. But at the same token, I just can't believe the guy being so eager to take everybody down. Like the other cop was so eager and smug about everything. I can't believe he would just be like, all right, fair enough, and like just go along with it. I feel like we're not done with that. But Walter and Misty are together, Nat dies, and then Ben, who is running around the tunnels, we kind of don't see a whole lot of him at all. We just know he's in the tunnels and everything. He burns the cabin down. I love that angle because Ben has been barely surviving. I can't even believe he is still alive going into season 3. He was looking so bad at the beginning of season 1. He lost his leg in the very first episode, looking emaciated. He was like sickly for the longest time. He's the one person that has not indulged on human flesh yet. And he finds Javi's tunnels, and I guess he figured I will just hide out in the tunnels and do my thing with my one leg. That's the other thing. He's got one leg, so it isn't easy for him to get around and do things he needs to do. The only one that might attempt to help him is young Nat, because young Nat is still alive, obviously, and she did have a friendship with him, and Javi was about to take her to the tunnels. I'm assuming in season 3, Nat's going to probably be like, listen, Javi was taking me somewhere, and they have no choice now. They have to go somewhere. They have no shelter. They're freezing their asses off. I mean, winter is probably coming to an end, but there is a second winter coming, and we still have no idea who the girl in the first episode was that fell in the hole. I'm still assuming it's Mari. And honestly, not as many people died as I thought they would. We only lost Crystal because of an accident, basically, and Javi. Everybody else is still alive. Even all of the new girls, besides Crystal, all of the new girls are alive. And one of the new girls ends up being Akila, who was recasted. So, great finale. I love it. I wish there was a little something extra, like a bomb drop at the end, because right now everything's just a downer. Lottie's going to like a mental facility because they all are like, you're fucking nuts. She's like, don't worry about it because we gave the sacrifice, so everything will be fine now. But that's the last thing I want to say, and I was saying it in the end of the episode. If everything is fine now, then why season 3? What's going to happen in season 3? Are we going to learn more about what they experienced there? But then what would happen in the real time? Like in our current time here, what would happen if everything's fine and dandy? And if it's not, then what the hell was the point of the sacrifices? Because Shauna did say this isn't about some higher power. This is us. We're the lunatics. We did this all, but then we all still went through with it. And Lottie still believes it. And if everything does become sunshine and rainbows, then it's kind of like, do you not believe her again? Like, I don't know. There's like a lot of questions. We'll find out in season 3. You guys let me know what you think. You want to see more of what I do in the description. The link for Patreon where you'll see every episode of Yellowjackets in full unedited. You want your own requested short movie, you go to the same link, ask me to watch whatever you want at a certain tier level, I will do so. That is how we have thousands of exclusives like Peaky Blinders, Doctor Who, Person of Interest, Eureka and Outer Banks, Pushing Daisies, Good Omens, Stranger Things, and Cobra Kai's final seasons are happening right now or very soon. Rama 1/2, Severance, Wayne, thousands of movies and shows full unedited. Check it out. If not, comments down below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.